Now, as well as the interactive activities that I suggest that you do with your child online, there are some websites that do have ready for you resources that are pre-made. Some of them are American, but they are nevertheless very, very useful for spelling practice. Now, this is taken from a website called k12reader.com. So it works with the K12 curriculum. Just check when you're using these resources, just double check that the spellings are obviously the British spellings and not the American spellings. So I've just here chosen for you week 4 homophones alike but different. And I'm just going to give you an example of what comes included. It's a free website, so you'll be able to download PDFs from that website and print them off before working through them with your child. But homophones are 2 words that sound alike but have different spellings and meanings. So it gives you the definition. It is sometimes helpful to use a mnemonic or memory trick to remember the different spellings of homophones. For example, hear means to process sound or information into meaning. Notice here has the word ear in it, the part of the body that processes the sound. Use that to remember the way hear is spelled. So it gives like these lovely quick tips to encourage your child to learn how to spell that word. I understand that your child might not be able to read such text as this yet when they are learning these words. So that's where you can come in handy and you can share with them what it says over here. But part 1 would be to fill in blanks using the correct words chosen from the word bank. So 1, Jake blank the ball to Alex. What did he do? Jake hear the ball, hear, no, no, principal, principal, through, your. So it sounds like through might feel like a good fit. So Jake threw the ball to Alex. But which through is it? Is it that through or that through? There's 2 types of through here. And this is where it will be good for you to talk to your child about the 2 different types of word through. So we've got through and then we have through. Check that your child might already know, but if they don't, just explain that this is through when you actually have a process of walking through something or going through something. And this is through, like the past tense for throw. So the correct one is this, because it's the past tense. Jake threw the ball. So he had to throw the ball, but he did it in the past. So he threw the ball. Okay, so that's just one. This is one simple activity that's coming from that website, k12reader.com. So once you go through all of these, so do you something what time it is? Do you know what time it is? But what no is it? Is it no as in KNOW, or is it no as in NO? And then talk to your child about the different meanings between the 2 different words. They might sound the same, but the way that they're spelt determines what it means. And you will explain that, do you know? Know is linked to the word knowledge. Okay, so you know that. It's in your mind. You already have that information. Do you know what time it is? If you was to just put in NO, that wouldn't make sense. So you just speak through these with your child. So that's one part. Then they have a second part as well. Write a paragraph using at least 4 words from the word bank. So if you want to challenge your child more, tell them to target 4 words from here and let them create a paragraph. It's up to you to extend your child to that level or not. And then the third activity, or the third part to this homophones activity, is one where your child will be presented with 3 different options for their targeted word to spell. The first one is principle, and you can, tell them to circle and then write out the correct way. Then you've got your, and then here, through, no, principle, and so on. So I'll just give you an example. So no, here, you've got no, no, nah. These two both sound out like no, but I know that that is not how we spell no. So it's got to be this one. So I will write no. And for example, your, we have learned that there's a different way of spelling your, the contraction for you are, but that's not included here. So I'm going to scratch out that. It's got to be this one. And then I will write it down here. Okay. And then for part 4, you're going to read through, or your child will read through with you, the whole paragraph. Okay. Just, again, just correct whatever needs correcting. So for example, on the first day of school, assembly, that should be so you could speak to your child about that, was held at Washington High School for all students. Mrs. Everett, the principal, hopefully your child, after they've read through the whole thing and they slowly read through it again to check, they will notice that this principle is the wrong meaning. It's principal, like as in the American version of head teacher. So they would write principle up here the correct way. You're going to find some changes here this year, she said. There will be no more. Oh, no, that's the wrong no. That needs to be N-O, and so on. Let them. This will be a bit tricky. So your child, because our system is a little bit different to the American system. So if you find that your child is finding this activity a bit too challenging, then that's fine to leave part 4 out. If you think they're challenged, they can do with the challenge and they will benefit from it, then by all means read through it and get them to try and work out the different meanings of the different words and correct them as necessary.